What's going on, everybody? Crazy Dog back with a very special Cleveland sports video for you guys. And as you can see by the title, in this video, I'm going to tell you guys who I think has the best owner in Cleveland sports. Now, I know they're not featured in the thumbnail because technically they're not Cleveland sports, but they are one of my favorite teams. I did include the Columbus Blue Jackets in this little ranking. And as you'd expect, I have them coming in last. And as you can see, ranked the owners with three criteria. Are the owners rich? Do they spend money? Are they aggressive at making moves? And as we can see with the Blue Jackets, yeah, they're not very rich. Granted, hockey owners aren't really that rich per se. I know the McConnells aren't really voted when it comes to money. Do they spend it? Really? Although they did go out and get Johnny Hockey last offseason, which shocked everybody, including me. I did not expect that. So they aren't afraid to make moves. But when you're a rebuilding team, you're not really too eager to go out there and make big moves. But I will say the pressure's on Jarmo and company because if this fails, they could be gone. I'm pretty sure Yarmo's contract's running out too. So you know the pressure's on already. But yeah, I put them in simply because they're one of my favorite teams. What about the Crew? I mean, I really just started watching soccer a few years ago. Crazy enough, I started getting into soccer right as the Haslams bought the team. And of course, they win a championship in the first year of the Haslams owning the Crew. So that's pretty cool. But I did not list them here because I really just started getting into soccer like seriously. So yeah, I mean overall ownership obviously is the Haslams. So yeah, I mean they're already in here. But yeah, this is strictly for Cleveland sports, but I wanted to add the Blue Jackets simply because, I'm a Blue Jackets fan. So now let's get into the Cleveland sports teams. And coming in third, to nobody's surprise, I have the Guardians. Are the owners rich? Yeah. Believe it or not, the Dolans are rich. And Blitzer, who will be taking over in a few years, he's also rich. So, yeah, they do have the money. But do they spend it? No. The Dolans are notorious for being penny pinchers. They are very, very cheap when it comes to this team. Notoriously, they have been known to not sign players, although that has seemingly changed. Of course, they extended Jose, they've extended Andres, they've even extended Trevor Stephan and Emmanuel Clase. And we expect more extensions coming up this offseason as well. Stephen Kwan, Josh Naylor, Tristan McKenzie. What about Shane Bieber? No, I don't see him getting extended. He's probably going to get traded. We don't usually extend Cy Young award winning pitchers. At least that's the reputation. We'll see if that continues. But yeah, I don't see Bieber sticking around, unfortunately. Now, is the front office aggressive at making moves? Somewhat. When the situation calls for it, they are pretty aggressive. Although recently they have become prospect huggers. Yeah. Antoinetti and Chernoff have been noticeably quiet when it comes to making moves. Of course, 2016, they were making moves like crazy. They went out, got Andrew Miller. They tried for Jonathan Lucroy. They went out and got Brandon Geyer. Like, they're not afraid to make moves, but usually they make their moves in the offseason. Which honestly doesn't seem like a bad idea. It gives you new acquisitions a chance to mesh with the team during spring training rather than come in midway through a season and have to totally get used to a new clubhouse and a new situation. But Of course, this year, instead of making trades, they simply decided to address their needs via the waiver wire. And for the most part, it somewhat backfired a little bit. I mean, Cole Calhoun wasn't too bad. That was technically a trade, even though it was a minor league trade. But yeah, they claimed Ramon Laureano, Lucas Giolito, Matt Moore, and Reynaldo Lopez off of waivers. And for the most part, I'd say Cole and Reynaldo and even Matt Moore have looked good. Meanwhile, Lucas Giolito looks like ass. He can. Oh, I almost forgot about Syndergaard. Yeah. Although that was more or less just us getting rid of Bald Man. But literally, Giolito is exactly like Syndergaard. Can't keep the damn ball in the ballpark. Plays the home run slot machine with another slightly younger and slightly better, somewhat not washed home run slot machine. Although, yeah, Giolito has been stung with the long ball. Coming in at number 2, I have, believe it or not, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Is the owner rich? Hell yeah. Dan Gilbert is very rich. In fact, if he owned the Guardians, he would be by far the richest owner in baseball. And with how aggressive he is with money, especially when he has a winner, man, could you just imagine Dan Gilbert with the Guardians? Gilbert would see the Guardians winning and he would spend every cent on the team. He would have extended damn near everybody. If we had him when we had Lindor, bro, he would have extended Lindor. He would have extended CC. He would have extended freaking Bieber already. Jose, he would have given Jose a massive contract. We probably would have went out and got freaking JD Martinez and Bryce Harper and Trey Turner. Oh my God. That's how aggressive he is. He doesn't care about money when it comes to winning. I love it. That's why I'm glad he's the Cavs owner. You know, there was one thing about him. I guess he's somewhat got rid of in terms of stigmas. He never kept GMs until recently when we finally extended Kobe Altman. Now, of course, do they spend money? Yeah, they do spend it. And then is the front office aggressive at making moves? Say yeah. I mean, although, you look at last year, oh, crazy dog. They were a playoff team. Why didn't they make any trades? Uh, they needed ammo and they didn't have any. Because there's this thing called the Stepien rule that prevents you from trading first rounders in consecutive years. That's why you see these NBA teams trading first rounders like way down the line, like every 2 years, because you can't do it back to back years because of what Stepien did. For those who don't know who Stepien is, look up the Stepien rule. There you go. But yeah, they are very aggressive at times. We'll see what they do with ammo coming up here. Once they actually have ammunition to use, although they have a ton of second rounders. I don't know why they didn't use any of those last year for trades, but oh well. I tell you one thing, they are aggressive though. And they got Spida. They took advantage of Leon Rose balking at the Jazz's request. So we got Spida. They went out this past offseason, got Max Strus, got Nyang. They went out and got Damian Jones for cheap. They brought back Tristan Thompson. Like, they're making moves. They're not afraid to. It's just that they're not just going to make a trade just to please the fan base. Like, at least Kobe's got the brain meats, right? He's smart. He's not just going to make a trade to make a trade. He's going to make a trade that would help this team win games. That. I'm sure I'll be pissed off because we didn't make any moves to improve the team, but I get it. I get it. Now, my number one ownership, the number one owner in Cleveland, believe it or not, is arguably the guy that has the itchiest trigger finger in Cleveland sports that I can remember. Jimmy Haslam and the Cleveland Browns. Is the owner rich? Yeah. Do they spend money? Yeah. Is the front office aggressive at making moves? Yeah. At least in free agency, they're aggressive. Trade wise, I mean, they went out and got Deshaun Watson. They brought in Elijah Moore. They finessed Amari Cooper. But notice all those moves were made in the offseason. What about the trade deadline? Problem with the trade deadline is we haven't been good around that time to warrant making moves. We did make technically a move at the trade deadline last year, but it was Deion Jones and it was due to injury. We needed a linebacker, and they went out and got Deion Jones. So that's one thing that they did. But we'll see what they do if they're actually good, which 1-0, good start. Let's see where they are on the trade deadline, and we'll see if they make any moves. And we'll see if any rumors come out, because they do have ammunition. And the best thing is, Andrew Berry is not afraid to make moves, because he's adopted the Rams motto of "Oof them picks." Right? You know, draft picks are draft picks. You don't know how they're going to turn out. I'd rather have a veteran who can help us now than a draft pick who you'd have to wait to see how he does, right? But yeah, that's pretty much how I rank Cleveland sports owners. Now, to any other content creators out there, this is a call to you guys. Tell me in the comments, rank your team's ownership groups or whatever. Because some teams are owned by a group, some teams are owned by a singular person. Go down in the comments. How about this? If you're a content creator, make a video. Rank your team's ownership groups or owners from least to best, or from worst to best. All right? It's a little challenge for the people. So, with that being said, I'm Crazy Dog. Let's go, Browns, Cavs, Guardians, Blue Jackets, and yes, even the Crew. Of course, let's go, Buckeyes. They're a college team, so they don't have an ownership group. Obviously, they'd be like number one. But yeah, they're a college team. No ownership group. Oh, yeah, but yeah, I'll see you guys. What? Saturday? For Ohio State, Western Kentucky? All right. See you guys then. I'm Crazy Dog, and I'm out.